Tacoma. How has Tacoma been for you guys?
Tacoma, so I would say probably have 3 hubs: East Side, Silverdale, where I live, and then here in Tacoma. By far those are my highest volume stores. So business-wise, it's the best location.
Did you expect that?
I don't know that I did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I know. When I first opened, I wasn't thinking these will be the highest performing stores.
When I moved to Tacoma, I did not expect Tacoma to turn out the way it did. And it's not that I don't like Seattle, but I like doing business in Tacoma, and I have multiple businesses here, and I love what we're building. It's really it's such an underrated market. And I see your stores here and the success you're having and others, and I love hearing those stories because I think it's such a good thing for Tacoma.
Yes. We're gonna start by just walking around, looking at the clothes, checking out kind of maybe if anything catches your eye. But honestly, what we do is find out a little bit about you, what you like to wear, what you do, and then we do all the work for you. We build the room. We already know your sizes by looking at you when you walk in.
That's incredible. What do you think for a podcast? What are we thinking?
I like darker colors.
Okay.
I would think pretty casual too. But if you're doing something this is actually on winter sale.
Okay.
But if you're doing a t-shirt and then a little jacket like this, it's really great because you're still on trend. You're going to be really comfortable, but then it elevates your style a little bit.
Very cool. I love it. This is nice. This is really nice.
Men's fashion is really awesome because it doesn't change that much. So you can really come in here, get a few staple pieces, put them all together, mix and match them, and be in style every day.
Perfect. I love that. Easy peasy.
Should we move into styling?
I think so. Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm so excited that you're here today.
We're so excited to be here.
This is a great space. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
This is awesome.
This is not quite as cool as your space. You have a moped when you walk in.
We have some really welcoming, great design.
You do. I mean, from clothing to everything, the experience is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And I had so much fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for running me through the whole experience. Anna, you were incredible. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you run me through the 3 different brands that you have?
Yes, there's Purpose Boutique, which I opened in my living room. And there are 4 of those. And that is women's clothing, some recognizable brands like cut from the cloth. We have great denim, really unique pieces. And we donate a percentage of every sale to fight human trafficking through those stores. Most women that come in and shop, they love Purpose because there's something for everyone in there. And then there is Purpose Men. That was the next one. So we thought, okay, we love styling women. It works so well. This whole mission of what we do, we wonder if it would translate to men. So we launched the men's store. And actually, Anna launched the men's store. So we chose her to go in and lead that. And so she can share a little bit later about what that took to really get that off the ground. But it has become very successful. So our men's store in Tacoma, we moved it. And it is, on track to be our #1 store out of the 8, which is amazing. Yeah. So that's men's. We donate a percentage of every sale, the same as the other stores. And then we just opened a new concept store this year for women that's called Sincere by Purpose. And Sincere is the same styling experience, everything you get in the other stores. We just have a few more elevated pieces. So brands that you would maybe recognize if you went to Nordstrom. We carry Mother, a Goldie, Citizens, Rails, higher price point, more brand focused.
Very cool. And how about brands on Purpose Men?
So in Purpose Men, I would say our #1 brand is 7 Diamonds. We have Paige Denim. We carry Travis Matthew.
Filson. Filson's like our big, someone was like, you have Filson? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much cool. Marine Layer, any brands that you would see when you walked in. Mavi Denim.
Mavi,
Colhan Shoes, Johnston and Murphy. We just picked up Clay Sneakers, which is really great. It's an LA-based shoe line. So it definitely feels like if you're a Nordstrom shopper walking in, all the brands you would recognize at Nordstrom's we carry for the most part.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the first time that I came in was a little over a month ago. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And I was just at Purpose Boutique. I was with someone shopping for the women's clothing. And they mentioned, well, have you been to Purpose Men? I was like, I have not.
but we had just walked by it. So I was like, all right, let's go check it out. Because I was looking around, I was like, man, this is really cool stuff. So I walked in and of course there's a moped and all this cool stuff. I was like, well, this is really trendy. It's so cool. And I would say 90% of the clothing there I would wear.
Yeah.
Like I was like, the colors were everything was really, really cool. I started talking to you, Anna, and you're like, hey, go check about upstairs. So I went upstairs and looking around and you were talking to me. I was looking and I wasn't really paying attention to what you were doing. And you're like, okay, hey, Reid, I'm ready. What do you mean? And you just kind of pointed to the dressing room. I was like, wait a second, are those for me? Yeah, try them on. And then an hour and a half later, I don't know, I walked out with, I don't know how many bags, but it was incredible.
4 bags.
Oh, it was awesome. I was like, I have never experienced that before at that level. And I'm going to talk about this all the time. And it's going to be all over this podcast. But you mentioned it's like a stitch fix.
Yeah.
I did that once for a few months. And what I did not like about it was that there was no one to talk to. You know what I mean? They're like, they sent clothes and I don't know about this.
Yeah.
But with you guys, I can just talk. You're talking to me. I was like, hey, what does this look? How's this look? And you're like, or yeah, I really like that. And you know what I mean? Like you're giving me feedback during the process. And that was really cool. So I love that.
Face-to-face interaction, there's just something about it. You can't replace it. So even if online sales grow, you are always gonna, as people, we need people. So we need those interactions. And I think at Purpose, that's what we do the best.
Well, tell me about this, because you mentioned this earlier about owning a business is super easy. I know. It's so easy. It is seriously
so
the
easy.
easiest thing. And clothing, a retail store, like a clothing store.
I know. Number one business idea.
Everyone's doing it. Okay, that's obviously not true.
Yeah.
Tell me about the difficulties of doing that. Like you said, you started at home and then you moved into the store.
Okay, well, the saying, like, business is easy until people get involved. So like having a business, having clothes, selling the clothes, the process of business is pretty seamless. The hard part of business is just people, because we're all different. We have different ideas. We have different dreams. And so you just put a lot of people together, you're going to get conflict. You're going to get, you're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be fun, but you're going to have something harder to navigate when you have a lot of people involved in something. And so I would say the hardest part and the best part of business are the people. I agree with that. Yeah. So as you're just navigating, you've got team members that come and they go, and team members that you have to have really hard conversations with, or people that you have to sit down and go, oh, I need to develop this in this person. And so you're just constantly, I feel like what makes business so hard is that you are constantly problem solving and strategizing. And a lot of it is around people. You want to make them happy. You want to help them grow. You want to do the correcting. I mean, it's just, there's a lot. And then even yourself, you're like, okay, I need to make sure I'm growing. I'm being a great leader. I'm providing my team with what they need. All of that is hard. Worth it, but it's hard.
So as you were opening from your first store to your second store, did things get easier as you opened each store, or did you have struggles? Was it easier after 1, 2, 3? Did it get easier to when you got to the first men's store, or was it like everyone was a challenge and you challenging?
It's like phases. You learn something, and so then you go, oh, okay, I feel like I understand this now. As you grow, then your challenges, they shift.
Yes.
So it's not easier or harder. It's like being in kindergarten and then going through 12th grade. If someone had handed me, because there's 8 stores today, if when I first had this idea for Purpose, if someone said, okay, here's 3 stores, I think it would have failed, because you learn so much through failing.
Yes.
And so I'm so glad that every little thing I did was fail fast, quick. And so I could mess up, but it's not going to take the whole ship down. And then I can correct and learn. And if I hadn't been able to do that, I don't think I would certainly not be able to have 8 stores. So
with growth, as it's the first one, you do learn so much. And then that next store or location, because I did a lot of co-working and it was location after location. And you learn, you get that experience of the first one. So when you're building the next one, it's easier. The third one's easier. But then having 3 versus 1 brings a whole different layer of
Yeah.
just so many more issues that you have to, you have to kind of continue to grow and figure out how to handle those things. So
Yeah.
it's I know it's challenging.
Well,
but,
the hardest thing is if you have a really clear vision and mission and you know exactly what you want something to look like and you've created that and you have a team around you that's with you all the time and you create it, you take it and you want to replicate it. That's really hard if you're not there. So then you go, oh, now I have to learn, okay, what are the processes? This is why we have value mission B's, like all the things that we have those so clearly articulated because people need to know and understand,
It's a culture.
this is why. It's the culture.
You're building that culture.
The culture is harder the more you expand.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And as you expanded, you went from women's clothing
Yes.
and transitioned into men's clothing. How was that? Like, how did that happen?
Magical for me, honestly, because of Anna. I was sitting here because Anna was in women's, and Anna is neurotic, perfectionist, crazy,
All
hardworking,
really adoring qualities.
talented. They're amazing qualities. I'm so thankful for
So
them.
I basically was the only one who had any menswear experience and got,
but also you have the drive that
I
it
have
takes.
the same drive. Yeah.
And yes, so for me, men's was really easy.
Yeah.
because
For
when you have
sure.
great people,
Right.
so that's why.
Yeah.
Before we get into how the first opening went on the men's, what made you do the switch to go from a women's clothing focused store to getting involved with men's clothing? How did that come about?
Because when you serve an underserved community, it pays off well.
I love that.
Yeah, men. There are very
Underserved.
few places for men to shop, and I mean, I had people over the years say, "When are you going to open a men's store?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know if men shop. I don't know if they." But you always start
we do.
something small, and you can test it. Like you can take calculated risks. So launching men's was a fun test. I go, let's go into the store. Let's see if this works.
And all that we did different, we applied the same principles, the same values, the same processes that were used in women's and just changed the clothing. And what's great about Christie's business model that she's built over the past 10, 11 years is that it could apply to home. It could apply to kids' clothing. It just, it works because there's a great values, magic marker system and a people first mentality.
Yeah. Because Anna's always like, oh, you have to love, if you just love people, it's like a purpose. It's like, we just love people when they come in. Treat them well. It's going to work.
Yeah.
But you got to work. Yeah. You got to work for it.
That's kind of one of the principles around Tacoma Rising is this type of stuff is that I love business. I love helping people and I love just watching people grow business. And so like what you guys are doing, it is incredible. It is the experience to the values that you guys do, how much money you've raised. Was it $450,000?
That our customers have raised because they're shopping. But that we've been able to donate, to fight human trafficking.
That's incredible. That's such a good story. So getting back on that transition to the men's clothing, where did you open the first men's? Was it in Ruston?
Yeah, so we launched in July 2022. The first, right?
That sounds
I'm
right.
really bad at dates.
I'm just kidding.
The first
details.
The first menswear store we launched, and that was across the street from Twisted Fork down in Point Ruston. It's a tiny little space.
Well,
Is that where
it's where Sincere is now.
Yeah.
I just recently I was walking past Sincere. I did not know that's where it was. I was like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
But I just didn't catch it before. But now I know where it is. But that's where men's, Purpose Men was. That's the first location for it.
Yep.
We love Sincere. We're both wearing Sincere tops.
Well,
That's where we
gorgeous
shop.
tops.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like to shop there.
So the great thing about that location is it's off the beaten path. So customers who like privacy, it worked out well with men's because, there's 2 parking spots in front, which I know in Ruston is kind of a hot button issue. So you can pull up, go shop the 3 stores, which is really great.
Yeah.
So there's a great intimate feel in that space, but also less foot traffic. So
So Anna,
we had to get
she had
really
to work
creative
for it.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. How was that experience?
So when we first launched men's, the first couple weeks were great because we had the buzz, and then the foot traffic died, and like, okay, is this going to work? You know, and sometimes I would show up and I'm like, okay, I'm running this new space. I love people. I want to style people, but nobody's walking in the door.
Like, so I need to see them.
And that's when it's like, that's what separates the men from the boys, in my opinion. It's like, how committed are you to this mission? How committed are you to serving the men of Tacoma and like introducing them to this way of shopping? And so, you know, I call her my slightly neurotic work wife, but Tina, her and I, that it was the two of us together.
Yeah.
And we would open the doors and guys would walk by and we're like, hey, just come in. Can I get you in a jacket? Like, just try this on. And slowly, you know, I'd always say, like, don't leave before the miracle happens. And so it would be, I'd be there all day from, you know, 10 o'clock to 6:30 and getting ready to lock the door and a car pulls up. And I'm like, lights on, let's go.
Yeah.
So, just not leaving before the miracle happens, continuing to put the customer first. And knowing that there's going to be some long days. Yeah.
Customer service, like word of mouth. I think because she did this with men's, and then I opened in downtown Bremerton in a 700 square foot store front on 4th Street. Not a lot of foot traffic, and no women really even go down there. So it was like, okay, if you can make it here, you can put this anywhere. Like that's really how I felt. And so I'm glad when I opened, like I had people, when I first had this idea and I started, I had so many people that were like, good luck.
Yeah.
Or it's probably not going to work.
You know, that's that.
And I just knew it was
there will
gonna
always
work.
be
I just
people like
knew.
that.
Do you mean in just the Tacoma location or everywhere?
No.
And
Like
just
before,
all of
like
them?
even people that I love, like my really close friends were like, oh, Christie, I don't know about this. And I just, I don't know. I didn't know how successful it was going to be, but I'm like, I know that I would want this.
Yeah.
And I want this in my town. So I'm going to just provide it because I know there's a lot of people out there that want this.
Yeah.
And it did work.
The gut.
It did work.
I mean, the gut,
Yeah,
use your
sometimes you
gut.
just
That's, when we did the co-working here, there was, I was like, man, I wouldn't tell the landlord this now, Jeff, but I was like, sure hope this works.
Yep.
Man, my gut said it would, but I mean, you don't
Scary.
know,
You
right?
don't
It's
know for
scary.
sure.
Like,
It's scary.
Yeah, especially when you talk somebody into investing their money into doing something, and then you're like, that is, and it worked. I mean, the studio, all these things have been really great, but I used my gut, and I was like, inexperienced in doing that, but people were like, you know how many times people like, I will say, and I'm sorry not to jump into the co-work, but just
I want to hear about it.
Let's plug. We want to plug your business.
Oh, come on.
We're here today to talk.
So
Reid, we're here today to ask
about
about your
Tacoma
business.
No, but
I would like to be the host.
the questions are coming to me now.
Yeah,
well, let's do it. I guess the reason why I'm bringing it up is that I had people tell me and the landlord not to do it because co-working isn't that successful in Tacoma. And I was like, bullshit. Yeah. You just haven't done it. You haven't seen it done the right way. And so, you know what I mean? Like that's it. And that's a very Tacoma thing is that I love Tacoma. I have a brand called Tacoma Rising.
Yeah.
But getting into the marketplace and proving to people like with a concept, it takes a lot of work to get the believers. And then once we opened and we were, 60-70% full day one, everyone was kind of like, holy shit, we didn't expect that. And I was like, well, quite frankly, I didn't either, but I thought I knew it was going to work, but I was I was worried.
Well, there's something about, I think, with people that launch businesses and they're entrepreneurs, it's like failure's not an option because a failure just means you pivot. Like, so you just go, we're gonna have success. We're just gonna not give up, and we're gonna figure out what it looks like to get there.
There's 43 offices in this place. I was like, I will create 43 LLCs before I fail this, but I didn't have to. Luckily,
well,
what I
like about Tacoma Rising, and also what Purpose does, is it's about bringing people together. Yeah. And we talk about this all the time, that loneliness is the biggest epidemic in our society right now, and so that's probably why you're experiencing so much success, and why we, like, our main thing is just to build genuine relationships with our customers. Like, we don't sell clothes, we sell confidence, you know?
Yeah.
And you are building a community. And so it just makes sense to me why it would be full, because people want to congregate, you know?
Yeah. People need people.
They do. And that brings up my next question is, how many of your customers are repeat customers?
It's a lot.
So I can give you rough numbers.
Would you
I would say
70%?
Oh, yeah.
70?
We're still new. Like, this is our third January. We're 2.5 years old. So people are still learning about us every day, which is super fun to introduce them to, you know, this way of shopping. But typically, you know, we have probably half our customers where men are so amazing. Like, they're such great clients, because all of a sudden their car will just take them there. Like, this is just what I do on Fridays. And we're like, great, come have a beer, hang out.
Yeah.
And then we have guys who shop every 6 months or once a year.
Yeah. And then, and that's men's. The women's side, I mean, it is like I have a downtown Kirkland store that's been there for 10 and a half years. And that there are women that are like, this is my store. This is my favorite store. This is where I bring everyone. This is where I come. And they're like, this is my store.
It's so true on the women's side, because I've been to boutique more than I've been to men's.
Really?
Yeah. So I've
Like
been
a
pulled,
lot of
I've been pulled in there,
returning.
not because, I mean, the clothes are great, but I'm not trying on the women's clothing. It's someone else.
Right.
But I'm always being pulled in the boutique, which is great because I like hanging out there. It's a cool store.
Yeah.
But I feel like I know the people working there now. Like, then they're like, "Oh, you're back." I go, "Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah." But it's a really cool store. But that's, to me, it tells, like, if I'm in Ruston, there's a good chance we're gonna stop in.
That's
Like,
great.
because that's part of the
Ruston's
destination now.
so cool.
Yeah.
it really
Such
is.
a cool area and location.
The men's store, super easy to open. You didn't have to holler at people to come in.
Nope.
No, not at all.
They came
easy.
flooding
They're
in,
flooding in.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
riding the wave of success ever since.
I can tell you
Yeah.
this, that is probably the only store I'm going to go to in Tacoma from now on. I love it. Quentin's going. I told you, well, we did a post. I was just curious.
Yeah.
On LinkedIn, because I do more LinkedIn than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And I got over 5,000 impressions, which we have some posts that, go up or I do, but that was one of the higher ones. And it's still getting liked. Comments and stuff.
My dad and my husband both sent me that.
It's like,
which is crazy.
It's cool. And the reason I'm bringing it up is that, like, if you get the word out, once the word gets out, I won't say every guy, most guys are going to be like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
easy, I want to go in there. And so I love it. It's like
I
a family.
feel like with the men, they also are kind of like, oh, this is my store. And then there's a part of them too where they're like, and they love the people there.
Yeah.
So they're like, I'm going to show up and support my people and my store. And it's like almost, they love it. They love the experience, but they also feel like, I'm going to take care of these girls.
And it's a good third space. So it's like, you can go to a coffee shop, but what are you going to do? It's like you're in Ruston, it's raining, you're going to have dinner, maybe your movie's not for an hour. Like, come hang out at the men's store. You can have a beer, our TV's on, we're playing all the sports. Like,
there's a great leather couch with a TV with YouTube sports, stuff. The stuff the men like.
We love it when people just come in and say hi and hang out.
I want to go there and just
sit
sit on that couch and work and talk to people.
It really is
fun.
very welcoming. I'm going to pop in. I'm going to just say, hey, which store is your best? I don't want to say best store, highest grossing store. Which is your highest grossing store?
Right now,
Is that okay to ask?
Yes, it's the Point Ruston, Tacoma women's store. The men's store is coming up quick to be number one. I mean, you're trending.
So the two highest performing stores out of the 8 stores that Purpose has are in Point Ruston.
Yeah.
So that tells you something.
It does.
And I don't think retail down there is dying. I think that business in general is thriving when you put people first and you build connection. You came in wearing blue. I stuck to blues. That's what we have a lot of. You have your coloring. This you can do with the sport coat or without. This is a really great travel piece. So even with a t-shirt, you have like a basic white t-shirt here. You can swap this for that, if you're going to Cabo. I like to just start with a pant and let's just find a really good pant that you love, and then we can start playing with tops to see what works. This is a modern twist on a suit. So you have a suit pant and you can do a sport coat, but this is just kind of like the cool guy's way of doing a suit now, and pair it with a sneaker, and it's just really fun.
That is fun. Have you already selected which one I'm getting? Or do you need to see me in it first?
I need to see you in it. I think you're going to love the pants.
Here.
I don't think you have anything like this.
I don't.
You're definitely leaving with this.
I had a feeling, you already know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so what am I putting on first?
I want you to start with the chinos because it's different for you.
Chinos.
It's a bonobos chinos, but it has 4-way stretch, and there's a hidden secret pocket for all your snacks.
Oh, good, because I do eat a lot of snacks.
Yeah.
Can I keep these on and do this?
Everything. Yeah, so everything in here goes with everything. So
It's incredible. Okay.
this works with this works with that. If you're not digging this pant, you have a jean, a darker denim,
I love that you put it with.
so you can see what you already have and what it works with.
Fantastic. Okay, I'll start with this.
In reality, when you are looking for a space, are there certain things that you look for when you're looking for expansion, that next location? Are there certain qualities, or is it a gut thing? Like, I think you mentioned Rustin. You were
Rustin.
running by in a marathon. You're like,
Yeah. Running the
that'll
St.
do.
Patty's Day half marathon and ran by Rustin when it wasn't even built. It was just the condos and maybe
Oh, yeah,
a restaurant. And I thought whoever's building that is doing a really great job. It looks like it's going to be cool. Because I want to be in places that look good. Like
Yeah.
that people I know who's owning it and who's building it, they really care about the details. And at Point Rustin was beautifully built and all of it. I mean, there's music playing, there's planters and, just the things that make it more aesthetically pleasing. So that's one thing. And then other pieces of it are kind of people and location. Like you have to think about, okay, I've got to get my product to the stores. It's all of that's important. So opening 3 brands actually in one area, that was a strategy of like, oh, well, we'll have a team and like a hub and everyone can kind of
So
work
smart.
together. And so that's what we've done in Tacoma with the 3 stores. And then we've done the same in Silverdale. So there's men's Sincere by Purpose and Purpose. And so we're hoping, and the other stores are newer, the men's and Sincere are like as of November 1st, brand new.
Oh, wow.
And so we need to build those stores up, but that gives a little hub, team
Sure
members,
does.
all of that. The one thing that I didn't think about that has been a challenge is if you have one of the same concept, when you're expanding, it's so much easier because the buying stays the same. A lot of the training, all of that. When you go into a new brand, you're like, oh, wait, we have to have a whole new buying team for this. We actually have to have a little bit of a different marketing strategy, whereas you can do the same for 4. So I'm glad I did it, but that has been a challenge. It's kind of, if you've got something great and you can replicate that, I think that's probably smarter for growth.
I think that's a really creative idea because I get the idea that it's consistent, but having different variations too, it's always nice too. I think
it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I like having the different brands. It's just
Not
it's
as
just-
easy.
It's just
It's
triple
not,
triple the work.
Yeah.
For sure it is. Can one employee from boutique just, if someone's sick, fill in for someone at Min? Would they be able to do that? Is it
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's cool
Especially,
too?
so
Like,
what's cool about Tacoma is like Christie was talking about, it's a hub. So everybody's cross-trained.
Yeah.
And then the great thing about Purpose is that wherever their passion is, like sometimes I'll have a person and their passion is menswear. And so that's where they go. And there's all the different options. So for building the business, yes, launching these new concepts can be a little bit tricky in the beginning, but it opens up so much opportunity for the employees too,
It's so
to really
true.
find
Yeah.
what side of the business they love.
And we have incredible people.
yeah,
So
you really do.
We just have the best people.
Well, and
So
with
you want
company
them to grow.
growth, yeah, I've met 4 or 5, no, more than that probably, and they're all fantastic. They're
Yeah.
so helpful.
Yes.
But with company growth comes personal growth for
Yeah.
employees too, which is awesome
Yeah.
because it provides, because eventually as you grow, your corporate
Yeah.
team grows, right?
Yep.
There's all, which is really cool. And that's more challenges. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's more, I'm like, oh my gosh. But it's a lot. I mean, 8 stores. Speaking of 8, going to 9 anytime soon or 10?
Not this year.
Not this year? Yeah.
I'm like, this year, we cannot open another store.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that now.
Okay. Well, we'll talk in 6 months and see how that.
Let me talk to her.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
2024, I'm going to tell you, was one of my hardest years. And we went through COVID.
Yeah.
We went through because it was the first year where we launched new, essentially 4 new stores because we moved one.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 4-store launch year. Never launched more than 1 in a year.
Is there a market that you would be interested in or that you're thinking about? Like, I'd really like to be in this town or this city. Is there one that you have in mind that you're like, my next store is here? Or, you know what, I'd really love to have a store like, I don't know, the San Juans or something. Is there a spot that you would just love to open? Or have you thought that? Are you more like, I'm just happy that we're stable and rolling?
No, I have some ideas and things like that, dreams of that, but opportunities come, and I think you seize them when they come if it's the right opportunity. Yep. So I don't actually, people are like, what's your 5-10 year plan? And I look at them and I go, I don't have that, and I don't want to have it. So I tell the team, I go, I promise you, we're going to grow. So whatever that looks like, it might be different. We might just grow this individual store. The store may grow by 50% next year or whatever. We're going to do something new. But I'm not going to guarantee exactly what it looks like, because that's how my business has grown. It's been pivoting and trying new things and doing something different. So I don't have this
linear line of, you're very organic of how things happen. I love that. Yeah. That's a really good way to do it. I think some
people are like, well, that sounds dumb, or like, you should have a 5-year plan. And I'm like, well, I'm doing pretty good. And I've never had a 5-year plan.
That's like, I mean, it's a lot of perspective, but like, I mean, keeping an open mind and just letting, paying attention.
But you might need a 5-year plan if you have investors. Like, you need, if you're answering to somebody, and that was also a big thing for me. I never want to answer to anyone, and I never want a business partner. Because and not in I think I'm amazing and I want to be like a tyrant and run my own show, but because I want that flexibility, and I want that, okay, I could totally pivot at any moment and I don't have to answer to anyone. I have to answer to my team. And I have to actually be the most humble in my role, because all of these people are, counting on this job, or they're part of this vision and mission. It's like, I'm working for them every day. So I do have to answer to my team every day.
It feels like, to me, it sounds like you want control of your destiny. You want to know, want to control where your life goes, and you don't want someone else to be pushing that in any direction. You want to control that.
Yeah. I think
I respect that. I think that's healthy growth. One question I haven't asked, do you partner with other businesses? Are there businesses that you guys work together, or is it just kind of, not that you would have to, but are there any partnerships you guys do, or does that work in your industry that you guys you team up with other businesses, any kind of strategies, or is it more like you've got multiple stores and you're a team yourselves, and you don't really, like you mentioned other retailers, that you talk to other retailers and stuff?
Friends. We don't, like a partnership, like we would go in with a business to say, oh, let's do an event together, or let's do things like that. But maybe I don't understand. We could probably do more of that.
We do none of that.
Yeah, well, it's like,
we have a lot of friends and we talk to people all the time.
I don't know that there's a lot of business partnerships. I think I was telling you this when we were walking, where when you're building your business, you're like, I was tunnel vision for a long time, and there would be different business organizations that they're like, you should come join or do this, and I would go, and I would be like, unfortunately, this is a waste of my time. Like, I can't be here. Like, I need to be working on my business. So it kind of made me less partnered and less even networking. And I think that is a huge area of growth for me and for us. I think that's something I like, even doing this, like, this is so fun and connecting. I actually love this. It makes me come alive. And I think, doing more of this would be really beneficial to us, I think,
I have a lot of fun doing this, and it allows me to get to meet a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs. Let me rephrase the question, because it wasn't a very good question. So on a partnership, what I mean, I Best of Broadway. We've talked about this, not so much with you guys. It's getting business owners together on Broadway and doing events and trying to get eyes focused on Broadway with this landlord and the landlord down the street working together and trying to get some things just in the works to bring more businesses together to have a bigger
Impact.
voice for if they're impact is a great example, great word for that. Just so when there's things that we need the city to do, there's more people together.
Yeah.
So maybe like a fashion show, or if you guys were working with other clothing stores to put on some kind of show or do something for fun. I'm just curious. I don't know if that's something you guys do or if that even makes sense in your world. Just are there other?
I think if things like that align with kind of our vision, mission, and it would benefit others, like we're like, oh, this would be, we were sold on it being like a great idea, then I think we'd totally be open to that. One of the things for us though is that we're so busy and a lot of times we're short staffed. So like event or like ideas will come and we'll be like, that sounds so fun. We're trying to get the store covered for Sunday. You're like, so to have the extra payroll or even people that to do that. Retail's tough. It's like, you gotta be on 24/7.
Part of what we do is promoting Tacoma is that we're trying to get more eyes, more businesses in Tacoma.
Yeah, I really answered that wrong, didn't I?
No. It was just, I just don't know how, if you guys do that kind of stuff, what does that look like? And so we do events and we do things, tours and events, and we try to spotlight businesses. Yeah. And you guys obviously are on the podcast because we want to spotlight your business and we want to show, hey, there's cool shit in Tacoma.
Yeah.
Shop in Tacoma. Come down. Go to Ruston. Go to Silverdale.
Yeah.
No, actually come to Tacoma. So point being that.
Or even downtown. Aren't there there's cool shops downtown? Yeah,
coming. Purpose Men. Working on it right now.
2025.
The point of that is that I was just kind of curious because I would love to get more businesses together and find ways to do cool stuff to show like what's happening in Tacoma. And I just didn't know if you guys group together with other stores and doing any of that stuff. There's there's always a market down in Ruston and stuff like that. I just didn't know if you guys get involved with that. I was just curious. And it just, the way my mind works is just constantly like thinking of the net, like what could we do? What could we do?
Connecting, bringing people together.
Yeah. And I go, anyway, just wondering.
Well, just let us know. Anything for you.
Oh, yeah. What?
Yeah.
And I get to walk on the runway?
Yeah.
Oh,
you've been very generous.
How about that?
Yeah.
Generous.
That's the answer.
We would love to know.
We would love to be a part of it.
Oh, see. I should have asked a better question. I was just trying to figure out.
If I did something, would you guys help? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We kept going. You kept trying to get us there and we kept going the wrong way.
I was trying to figure out how to get you there just because I was like, I didn't know. Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm not opening a store.
Said no.
I will not partner.
Yeah. I was like, that was a hard no. I was trying to dance in your world and I did not
There was a lot. Well, you didn't live. You should have lived my last year.
Oh,
You know,
we could have stories about 2024, right? Last year was.
Yeah. I mean, you would think that COVID would be like my hardest thing. And that was really hard to be completely shut down for 3 months, but have all your bills.
Yeah.
I mean, wild. That was wild. Made it through. Came out the other side. Had a great 2021. So, you know.
COVID is in the rear view mirror. Yeah. Right. And I think that happened a year ago.
Yeah.
But now people are investing and doing more, and I also think there's a lot of folks from Seattle down, and I thought that was really interesting that there's more people gravitating down here, and that's now that
Tacoma's super central. It's a hub.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think Tacoma is the new Seattle.
Ooh,
yeah,
cool.
It's I think, and to that point is why I was asking, do you partner with other businesses? Because I think the more businesses we have promoting Tacoma and talk like this type of show, people are going to love this. They're going to love hearing your story, and they're going to be like, I got to go check out Purpose. And I hope they come down and do that. But that's kind of the mindset.
We'll make it worth their while.
Yes, you will.
We would not exist. We would not be who we are. We would not have donated any of this money without our customers. Our customers are everything. And everything we do is filtered through, how is this going to benefit the customer? How is this going to make our customer experience better? So the customer is everything.
Yeah. And then something like when we have team meetings or I'm talking to the men's team, and especially January, February, like it's slow. You know, you might see two people
Q1.
in one day. But anybody who I hire or who works with me in the men's store, they have to truly believe it is an honor every time somebody walks through that door.
Yes.
Because that's how I feel. And that's how I expect people to be treated. So in this world where, you're one click away from buying a shirt and then maybe it's not the right color, it doesn't fit you right. It's like, come in, try something on, feel the fabric yourself. Just be open to this idea of, hey, shopping can be fun again. And come see us.
Yeah. And know when you come in that our stylist is going to ask you so many questions about yourself, because at some point in this interaction, we're going to find common ground and then we're going to build a genuine connection. And so we train that and teach that because genuine curiosity, it's the most endearing trait you can have.
Thinking about that, just being curious about people,
Yeah.
it's such a good message and something to live by. Like
Well, it's how you're living your life.
Yeah.
Look at what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing it all the
you're
time.
doing it.
Thank you so much for having us on here
My
and
pleasure.
for letting us tell the story of purpose and promoting so many businesses in Tacoma and bringing people together.
Yeah.
We really appreciate just having the platform and the opportunity. It was really fun for us. And we just hope that people will come and experience purpose and experience how you shop can change your life. And that is through the styling experience you will receive, but also when you shop, we donate a percentage of that to fight human trafficking and to help foster families. And that is why the business is called Purpose.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Reid.
You guys are incredible.
Thank you.